Tears of the Mountain. Released a few weeks ago, Tears of the Mountain is an animated short film released on the YouTube channel Goblin's Paris. Now, this short film has sparked quite a lot of buzz from people, especially those in the paleo community, due to its prominent use of one Tyrannus. In fact, it's gotten to a point now that for the past few weeks, I've been receiving nothing but requests from you peeps to cover this short and give my opinions on it, because not only is it a new independent animated short film with dinosaurs, but also after watching it for myself, this might just be the next evolution in paleo media. What am I talking about? Well, we need to talk about Tears of the Mountain. Hey guys, it's the Pig King here, and I've been just itching to talk about Tears of the Mountain for ages now. As again, if you might recall, this short came out a few weeks ago, so why am I only talking about it now? Well, it's for a number of reasons, but the biggest reason of all is simply because I've been trying to process what it is I actually saw, because man, when I say there's nothing like this short, I really mean it. But what is it about? Well, from what I've gathered, it essentially follows two sisters, with one sister being a hunter who provides for her little sister ever since their mother unfortunately passed away. And one day, she's given the task to hunt a mysterious beast in the mountains. And if she's successful, it could guarantee that she'd never have to hunt ever again. But conflict soon arrives as both sisters feel differently about the hunt, as one is trying to provide for them both and so sees it as a necessary evil, but the other believes the beast is sacred and should be left alone. And already, I think you can see why I've been wanting to talk about this short for the longest time now, because not only does it have dinosaurs, which is a guaranteed win, but also has a narrative that's both simple but engaging, as they managed to get all of these story beats across in only a few minutes, and it all works flawlessly thanks in large part to the gorgeous animation, which is genuinely some of the most inspired work I've seen in 2D for a while, because this short is animated in a way that makes it feel like a classic fairy tale. And I'm not talking about the old classic Disney type of fairy tales, no. I'm more so talking about the hundreds of years old ones. You know, the ones that weren't afraid to get dark in order to spread their message, as a lot of these fairy tales often had quite detailed illustrations that heightened their atmosphere. And I feel that same sense of wonder and fantasy going on here. But that's not all, because the visuals here, while feeling fantastical, also feel grounded and striking. Each shot here looks like it could be an artwork you'd hang on the wall. The style is just such a clever blend of simplistic enough to animate, but also detailed enough to look striking at the same time. Plus, another thing I absolutely loved about these visuals is the brilliant way that they went about progressing the story through just the colours alone. At the start, everything's very muted and sort of dark, detailing the more somber and somewhat painful emotions the characters are feeling ever since they lost their mother, with heavy shadows detailing the disconnect between the two sisters, as one's very much in belief of leaving the mountain beast alone, and the other one isn't, with both having very justifiable reasons to themselves. Then the more we get closer to the middle, things begin to get heated, the sky goes darker and harsher, but once they meet the Tyrannus and begin to chase after it, everything goes pure white to heighten the confusion and the feeling of being lost that the characters are in, until finally we get to the conclusion where everything now has a vibrant, warm colour to it, as now both the characters and the audience have clarity on the situation. That's a level of detail that not a lot of people will notice, but its inclusion adds so much, as when you have it, you don't even need audio in order to understand what's going on. Genuinely, all you'll need is the visuals alone, and you'll still be able to follow along and feel the intended emotional beats. That's something that can take years, if not decades, to master, And the fact that not a lot of people are going to notice it right away here is a damn shame, because it's such a brilliant inclusion that adds so many layers to the narrative and the impact it's giving in the end. Now hold on peeps, do you want to be featured in a video? Just like Omega Godzilla Animations, Kanade L, and the amazing Narwhal? Then listen up, because you need to subscribe right now. I'm on a mission to get to 30,000 subscribers, and peeps, I need your help in order to reach it. So, if you want to help me on my mission and potentially get a shout out, then be sure to subscribe right now and comment down below telling me you subscribed, and who knows, it might just be your name that's the one featured in the very next video. But with that, let's get back into Tears of the Mountain. But what about the Uteranus? This iconic Snow Rex, how does this short handle its inclusion? Well, pretty damn well, I must say. I love the idea of taking prehistoric creatures and giving them an almost mystical quality to them. As we see this Uteranus, it's animalistic but also has a fair few traits that make it feel like a living, thinking creature, with how it only tries to defend itself, and if it sees someone as not a threat, it will leave them alone, which is not only very realistic, but adds a certain mystic element to the dinosaur in a way that just makes sense. Heck, that's pretty much the perfect analogy for this short as a whole. It's a combination of a lot of different genres, ideas, and cultures, but done in such an organic way that gets straight to the point that you're never lost and instead are hooked all the way through. It's genuinely so beautiful watching the way this story progresses. It reminded me a lot of Primal, because both not only use the prehistoric creatures they have brilliantly, but they also tell emotional stories in a way that's organic despite the short time. And it never once feels rushed or underwhelming, because they know what it is they're trying to say, and instead of needlessly explaining how certain things work, they instead use the shorter runtime to their advantage and just allow the visuals and the audience to fill in the gaps. And it's here I want to get into my biggest thought leaving this short. That being just how this short pushes paleo media to a place it's never quite been before. Because call me crazy, but I feel like the reason this short got a lot of people talking is because of how unique it really is, using a rather accurate depiction of a fairly niche dinosaur in a way that doesn't feel over the top or monstrous and still have it feel engaging is a major accomplishment that we don't really see much of nowadays. Plus, this just goes to show that you can use these prehistoric creatures for more ways than simply being the antagonists of your story. You could have them be more mysterious, you could have them be a bit mystical, you could have them being calm, and it will work. For the longest time, I felt like dinosaurs have usually been typecasted a certain way. They're either the big bad villains of the story or the butt of a joke. Heck, look no further than the dinosaur movies we've been getting this year, like with Jurassic World Rebirth or Primitive War. Regardless of what you think of those movies, they only seem to reinforce the status quo of making dinosaurs Hollywood monsters. And it's getting to a point now where it's kind of old. But Tears of the Mountain proves that not only can you experiment more with their roles and stories, but people are ready for more interesting takes on dinosaurs. So if you haven't seen Tears of the Mountain yet, go watch it. It's an absolutely beautiful short film, which I simply needed to talk about because we need to see more stuff like this. I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video, and while you're down there, be sure to comment down below what you thought of Tears of the Mountain. Did you love it, or did you not understand it? Let me know what you guys thought about this short in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed today's video and want to see more content just like this, then be sure to like this video and subscribe. Doing that not only tells me you want more content just like this, but it helps me make that content for you guys a whole lot faster. But with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.